my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world.
I sing my joy.
I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world.
I dance my song.
I dance my song. I dance my song. I dance my song into the world.
I dance my song.
I dance my song. I dance my song into the world. I dance my song. I dance my song. I dance my song into the world.
I dance my song.
I dance my song. I dance my song into the world.
I sing my song.
I sing my song. I sing my song. I sing my song into the world.
Good morning and happy Easter. We're so glad you've joined us on this day of resurrection. That was the newly formed praise team with Gina Walker. You'll see them later this morning as well. So I welcome you to Universal Spirit Center. So grateful that you've joined us on this Easter morn. So I'm going to invite you to just take a deep, full breath and just settle into yourself. Just settle into where you are and just start to open to the energies that rise up on this sacred morning. So we come to you on 3 different platforms. We come to you through YouTube. Subscribe to us and share us from YouTube. We come to you from Facebook. Like us and share us on Facebook. And we come to you through our website, live streaming through our website. So I invite you to just breathe right into your heart, to open the energy within your heart this morning to, as I said earlier, the sacred energies that abound on this morn. So as we welcome back Gino and the praise team.
Day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, 3 things I pray: to see Thee more clearly, love Thee more dearly, follow Thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day, by day. Oh dear
day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray.
Things I pray
To see thee more clearly, day by day.
Follow thee more nearly.
Day by day.
Follow thee more
nearly. Day by day. Woo! Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray.
Three things I pray
To see thee more
clearly.
day by day.
Love thee more dearly.
Day by day.
Follow thee more nearly.
Day by day, by day, by day, by day.
And that was our newly formed praise team with Gino leading that up. And we have Otis and Chris and Bob. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So for those of you who have just tuned in, welcome to this day of resurrection. Welcome to Rising Up as the One. I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great joy to be the spiritual leader of our awesome spiritual community, Universal Spirit Center. And I welcome you, especially you who are new today. Welcome. Glad you're with us. And all of you who join us from other parts of the world, from other countries, please know that we extend to you a warm welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcomed here with us. So thanks for being here. So I want to acknowledge and thank all of you who participated in our Conscious Giving program. We really appreciate all of you who made Conscious Giving pledge to let us know what you're giving to us so that we can create a budget for the upcoming year. So special thanks to you. The Tapestry of Love was our theme. Some of you participated in creating that. It's the experience of community. Do we have a slide for that Tapestry of Love here? I want to show you we'll show it next week as well. Maybe we don't, but I do want to say that it's not too late. If you've not given your pledge card, there it is. I'll show a full slide. There we go. There's our tapestry of love that we're creating as spiritual community. The tapestry of us. There you go. So I also want to acknowledge, as the first Sunday of April, acknowledge all of you who have birthdays in Sunday. We have a little bit of folks here. Anyone here born in April? No one in this room, so maybe you're all out there. Happy birthday to all of you who celebrate an April birthday. We were glad that you're born, and we're glad you're part of our center. So happy birthday to you. Also, I want to give you an update as to where we are with our opening. In April, the Lions Club, where we meet on Sundays, where we will be meeting on Sundays, is redoing their floors. And so when they do that, all the equipment that we use for streaming, for broadcasting, needs to leave the building until they're complete with that process. So when the equipment comes back, which will be, I think, the third week in April, what we're going to do is mount the cameras and the lights up on the ceilings as a way to prepare for your joining us. So we create a space in the center for chairs. So it's our intention to open sometime in May when we deem that it's safe to open. We will go to either 2 or 3 gatherings. We'll determine how many people we can fit in this space, and we will keep you informed as we come to decisions about this process. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to prepare this space for you. And then the other thing I want to say is, especially for those of you who don't live in San Diego, we will continue the excellence that you experience on our broadcast. So that will stay the same. The only difference will be we'll have people gathered here physically. Okay, so there's my announcements. And we have Lee Armentrout here, our administrator of our center, who's going to let you know what else is going on in our community. Lee.
Hi, everybody. Happy Easter to you. I get to share some announcements with you, many of which are about our racial equality project and the things that we do here at Universal Spirit Center to stem systemic racism. So the first is what we call our call to action. It's an action item that you can take to participate in this effort. And I was going to wing what this was about, but I think it's important to get all of this information, and so I'm going to read here. Anti-Asian and Asian American racism and xenophobia is not a new phenomenon. It's been part of American history for a long time. And we have seen it manifested against Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in many ways over the years. As the coronavirus pandemic escalates, and we have seen more harassment, discrimination, and even violence directed at these communities. In order to combat the rise of anti-Asian American and xenophobic harassment, please consider signing up for a free 1-hour bystander intervention training. You'll learn 5 strategies for intervention: distract, delegate, document, delay, and direct, and how to prioritize your own safety while intervening. The bystander intervention training will provide you with a more confident intervening the next time you see anti-Asian American harassment, either online or in person. Go to our REP page for those dates. The dates are April 7, 8, and 29th, and there's different times for those things, so check out our website for that. The next one is our Wednesday offering. It's called Kitchen Conversations. Gina Walker is a magnificent facilitator and discussion leader, and the topic for this Wednesday is the trial of George Floyd, so don't miss that. And then we have a movie of the month, a pertinent topic movie that we get to watch during the month, and we'll come together on our community room button on the website at 6:30, now on the 3rd Friday of the month. So this month's movie is called Nina. Nina, that's a powerful film, and we get to talk about it on the 23rd of April at 6:30. Okay, I'm going to take a breath. Last thing is a book study that I get to facilitate. It's coming up on April 12th. It's 5 Mondays, and it's around this book called Living the Science of Mind. Living the Science of Mind. This is a great book because it's a great tool for your spiritual practice. It's filled with individual essays. What I'll be doing is I'll be assigning some of those essays, and we come together on Zoom and have great discussions where we grow and learn together. So it's on a love offering basis. Go to the Classes tab on our website. All right. Thank you for your attention. Now we get to do some stillness and some prayer. Zina, Kacha, our prayer practitioner for today, is going to lead us in that. Here's Zina.
Good morning. I'm here to guide us in a prayer, and I'll start with a reading, and then I will open up with some time of silence, followed by a prayer to just welcome in this arising that Reverend Kevin and the rest of the team has been speaking of. I do want to extend to everyone that we have a prayer room available for you directly after service. And you can find the link to that prayer room on our website at universalspiritcenter.org. So now let's shift into just some time of receiving, letting go of anything that might have been on your mind from earlier today or anything that might be on your mind for later today in this beautiful celebratory experience of arising. Our reading today comes from our founder, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, Ernest Holmes. I arise and go forth into the dawn of the new day, filled with faith and assurance in the all good. I arise, I sing with joy. I proclaim the one life in all and through all. I arise, I shout with gladness that it is with me. I declare this day to be complete, perfect, and eternal. Join me in a rising, a raising up of our collective consciousness into that sphere, that place where the beloved awaits, that place that is in each and every human being, all sentient beings, even the plants and animals, and all of the world and the universe and the galaxies have within them this beloved presence. I know that it is here right now, living as a divine expression of each of us. And I know that it guides each of us in doing what is ours to do. So today we arise in this idea of Easter, opening our minds and our hearts to the collective consciousness of knowing there is a presence that we love and that loves its creation. And I know that that presence moves through all of this gathering and beyond, wherever and whomever is listening. We are connected as one. And I know that the preparation this morning to bring this gathering together was the preparation of the arising of doing what was needed to be done to bring this production forward. I know that Gino inspires with her glorious voice from the angels. I know Linda in the piano is absolutely one with the piano keys. And Corey and the production team and the praise team who has sang the glorious voice of spirit, his individualized expressions. And a great thanks to our spiritual director, Rev Kevin Busey, who brings forward and reminds us not only this day, but all days to arise and allow and bring forward the divine that lives and breathes us all. So grateful for this and grateful for each and every one of you, of me, of all of us. It's so glorious. I simply release and surrender and let Spirit do the work. And I ask you to join with me now and sing, and so it is.
At my right hand, Michael. At my left hand, Gabriel. Before me, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. At my right hand, Michael. At my left hand, Gabriel. Before me, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. And within me, almighty love, mighty love, me almighty love, within me, almighty love, calling the angels, calling the angels. At my right hand, Michael. At my left hand, Gabriel. Before me, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. And within me, almighty love. And within me, almighty love. And within me, almighty love. Within me, almighty love. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. Calling the angels.
So I invite you to breathe into this moment. Breathe right into your heart. Just invite the beings of light, the angels, our ancestors, come join us in this time, on this powerful morning of rising up. Let us know that we are so supported in moving to a higher consciousness. So we just feel into the presence that surrounds us and dwells within us. We open to it and we let it be. So it is. Such a beautiful song and such a beautiful voice. Gino Walker, angelic Gino, angelic. And Linda Ely, thank you as well for that. Yeah, let's acknowledge those in the house. You guys can clap as well at home. We have a very small crowd here this morning. So I love visiting this story of Easter. Not particularly because I love this story so much, but I love visiting this story each year because it kind of speaks to me kind of where my consciousness is at this time of year. Because this story has many interpretations. It has many interpretations, right? And really, Scripture, for us to properly understand Scripture or sacred story, it's got to be an articulation of an inner process. It's an articulation of an inner process. It helps us understand what's going on internally. That's the point of sacred Scripture or story. And within sacred Scripture, within sacred story, is an invitation, a call, and a challenge to be more than we are. You know, I think I shared this before, but on my way home from one Sunday from the gathering, I was listening to NPR, and they had an author on there, and the author was talking about what the qualities are that make a good novel or a good movie, and see if you think this is true. So usually a novel or a movie starts out where there's an average character, an average man or an average woman, and then some kind of crisis or event or something happens to them where they have to work through that. And at the end of the story or at the end of the movie, they're kind of more expanded, if you will, improved, or a little better than they were at the beginning of the story. And the author said that if a story contains those three elements of kind of an average, ordinary day or person, something that happens that calls for something within them, and then someone who's evolved after that situation, that's a good story. So we have this before us this morning, a good story. And embedded in this story is an invitation, a call, a challenge. So let me share the story briefly, a brief account of the story. Before the first light on the first day of the week, 3 women went to the tomb of Jesus to anoint his body. And when they got there, they found that the tomb was empty. And they decided to run back and to tell the disciples that the body of Jesus was gone. And on their way to the disciples, Jesus appeared to them. They encountered Jesus. So what I like about visiting the story is, what does this story mean? What does it mean that over 2,000 years ago, or almost 2,000 years ago, Jesus rose from the dead? What does it mean for you and me today? What's the internal process that it articulates in us. So I think to answer that, we've got to briefly look at Jesus' whole life. We can't just take this story out of the context of either his last week or his entire life. That's going to give us a full meaning of what this story means. So what about Jesus' life? I think his life can maybe be summed up in two characteristics. The first is he had a radical, inclusive love of everyone. A radical, inclusive love of everyone. In fact, he actually hung out with those who were despised and rejected from his society. He actually kind of preferred their company. So one of the things about Jesus' life, it was radically inclusive. So that's the first thing. Here's the second thing. During the time Jesus lived, the person who was a good Jew would never, a good Jewish person would never mention God's name because it was too sacred. It was too holy to be proclaimed from our lips. Jesus not only called upon God, but Jesus called God Abba, which literally means daddy. Jesus had such a profound, radical love for God that broke through the ceilings of the religious dogma and standard of that time, that he dared to call the creator of the universe Daddy. So I think those two characteristics are important about his life, are important to understand as we move into this story. And then the other piece that gives us really understanding about the story is his last week. And I talked more extensively about it last week. So if this interests you, I invite you to look at our Palm Sunday talk, and you can refer to it there. But what we have at the beginning of the week is Jesus entering Jerusalem to eat Passover with his disciples, which is what good Jews did of the time. Jerusalem, metaphysically, means soul. So what this last week is, it's a journey into the soul, because this whole last week of Jesus' life metaphysically means an initiation of the soul. It means you and I leave the circumstances, the ordinariness, the dramas, the conditions of our lives, and we move up into an experience of divine love. As experience, I'm not talking dogma or piety or religious terminology. I'm talking about experience. To actually move from the circumstances of our lives into an experience of the divine. So that's the last week. That's what this initiation of the soul is all about. So the second thing that happens in the last week is Jesus is betrayed. You and I have been betrayed by people or by governments or by religion or by this old concept of God that we had. But it's betrayal. And the initiation, what helps the initiation of the soul, is to use betrayal not as holding on to our hurt or victimhood or unforgiveness. The power of betrayal is to call back our authority, call back our voice. Take that authority or that voice or that trust that we've put out there and call it into ourselves. And in doing that, any story of betrayal or unforgiveness fades away. And then we have the Last Supper, which is Jesus celebrating Passover with his disciples. It's an intimate experience. It's along the way of an initiation into the soul. It's to get clear who our intimates are, Who nourishes us? Who truly loves us? And who do we truly love? Who's got our back? Where can our trust really be honored and valued? In the second part of the Last Supper, as I said last week, the question lies within that experience of the Last Supper is, who would I give my life for? What do I give my life over to? What do I live for? And it's symbolized in Jesus giving his body and his blood. What do I give my life over to? And then we have the agony in the garden, was just hitting rock bottom, which you and I most probably have done at some point in our life. Here's the power of hitting rock bottom in our lives. There's the power of that. There's something to stand on, and it's the rock bottom. And the only way out of that energy is to surrender and let go, which we have again in the Good Friday experience. It's just letting go. It's surrendering. It's being with what is. That's a powerful place to be in. Being with what is. And then we have the tomb experience, where all of these energies, all of these stages, all of these things that Jesus and you and I move through have a time to integrate within us, to become still, to become quiet. 3 days in the tomb is three is a strong mystical number. So there's huge metaphysical meaning in being laid in the stillness for 3 days. And then we have the Easter story of resurrection. Now, if you've hung around us for a while, you're probably familiar with the 4 stages of consciousness. Michael Beckwith identified them many years ago. And the first stage of consciousness is victimhood. So we haven't experienced the slowest stage of consciousness. We haven't experienced what life has done to us, or we're helpless and we're powerless. So people do things to us. We're the victimhood of the lack of money we have, or our health, or this relationship or that relationship. It's victimhood. And in a way, we're all born into that energy because we're all dependent as infants and small children. We're all dependent on someone else for our survival. So it's a necessary step, victimhood, for all of us to rise up from. So the second is empowerment, where you and I learn the life skills that we need, where you and I learn to take responsibility for our lives. It's the tough realization that we're responsible for the circumstances of our own lives, that we're responsible for our thoughts or for our feelings, that we create our own lives. And then isn't this interesting? As soon as we create our life, we're asked to surrender. Surrender to those areas where maybe we're getting too controlling or too much management. We surrender to a higher power. That's the third stage of consciousness. And then the fourth stage of consciousness is like rising up with the one. It's experiencing ourselves as part of the whole, as this one divine life. It's rising above all of those lesser things into the deep awareness that the divine dwells within and surrounds us. So this story of Easter has been told from each one of these levels of consciousness. So check it out. So if this story is told from a victimhood state of consciousness, and maybe some of us have been there, I grew up with this, it's Jesus' rising from the dead proves that Jesus could save us, that I need to be saved, that somehow I am incomplete, or somehow I'm not worthy in the sight of God, or somehow I'm victim. And I need Jesus' death and resurrection to save me. So I think what that does is that reflects more on the person who's interpreting it that way than it is on the story itself. It's not the story. It's certainly not Jesus' life that promotes our need to be saved. And so then if we move it to a second stage of consciousness, and I've been here, that empowerment. So Jesus' resurrection proves that I won't die, that I'll live forever, that I, with Jesus, will rise from the dead. That's certainly, an interpretation. It's certainly futuristic. It's something that will happen one day, but it might not have much say in my life now. So that's a second way to interpret it. There's a third way to interpret it, and this was where we include Jesus' his life and the last week of his life, and it's this: it's letting go. It's letting go to a greater energy, a greater power, a greater love. It's the awareness that in my daily life, there's always a call to let go, to be with what is. To realize that the presence dwells in, through, and as me to such a degree that it's always inviting me, calling me, challenging me to let go into the power of love. And then the fourth stage, which is a little bit harder to articulate because it's so, I don't know what I would say, so beyond form. But it's the actual experience where we arise with and as the one. Where you and I have an experience where the conditions and the facts and the dramas in our life are less significant, have less of a hold on us than does God's love. That God's love becomes more powerful for us in our experience than the facts and the conditions of our lives. That's the rising up energy. That's, if you will, if you are familiar with the chakras, that's living in the top chakras. And this journey that Jesus is on the last week is actually moving through all of that chakra energy up to the crown chakra. So it's that rising up to the crown chakra for those of you who could relate to that. It's the awareness. It's the experience that divine love is more real than anything. Ernest Holmes says that one who practices our philosophy, needs to be still and quiet long enough to realize that the invisible is more powerful than the visible. I love that. It's that tomb experience I referred to earlier. Let me say it again. The one who practices our philosophy needs to spend as much time in stillness as necessary, in quiet, to have the awareness that that which is invisible is stronger than the visible. Now, throughout history, throughout all centuries, throughout all cultures, throughout all spiritual traditions, even outside of spiritual traditions, we have had individuals and groups of people who have achieved this consciousness of rising up. It's the universal story of humanity. It's the call on all of humanity to rise up to our greatest selves, to always choose love, to be nurtured by and nurture our experiences of love, and to always choose love. That's the call upon humanity. So this story of Easter, it's a universal story that's made personal or particular by Jesus, that's how Jesus lived it. That's how Jesus lived it. But you and I live that story in our own lives. In the 21st century, whatever city we're in, whatever state we're in, whatever culture we're from, whatever religion we espouse to, it's still the same story. And it's a story of rising up in consciousness, where you and I have the actual experience that love is more powerful than the circumstances of our lives. And we translate this awareness into our daily experience. As I said, there are thousands and thousands of men and women throughout history and in every culture and religion that have experienced this rising up. And this morning, it's the call upon us to rise up. So this morning, I issue you an invitation. This morning, I issue you forth a call. This morning, I challenge you to rise up beyond the ordinariness of your lives, the dramas you might find yourself in, the life circumstances, the facts of your lives, the unforgivenesses, the inability to let go, and to rise up into the consciousness that your life is God's life, that God's life is your life. So this month here at Universal Spirit Center through April, we will be discussing the tools necessary to assist us in rising up. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath in, right into your heart space. And I'm going to ask you, as your eyes are closed, let your eyes look up to maybe your fifth chakra. But look up, rising up energy. And I'm going to read again this reading from Ernest Holmes that Zina so beautifully read earlier this morning. So set your gaze up into the heavens. I arise and I go forth into the dawn of a new day, filled with faith and assurance in all that is good. I arise, I sing with joy. I proclaim the one life in all and through all. I arise, I shout with gladness, with the gladness that is all within me. I declare this day to be perfect and whole and eternal.
life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now.
There's only one
There's only one life, that life is my life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is my life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is my life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. One life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. There's only one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. Oh, that life is my life now.
Praise team with Gina Walker. Thank you. That's great, perfect song that was taken straight from the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes' own words. So I'm really happy to introduce our next person up on the mic. It's Frederick Jackson, and I want to talk a little bit about Frederick Jackson and his wife Joan Bruner, who join us here today. These two folks are charter members of Universal Spirit Center. They have been not only a part of Universal Spirit Center since before we established ourselves in consciousness, but they have been both very involved in a life of service and volunteering in our community for the last 20-some years. Their support of me and of our community and their inspiration that they receive from our gatherings is so inspiring to me. I really appreciate the love, the support, and the many, many years of service that Frederick and Joan have so freely given to us. They really do walk their talk. And so now I get to present to you Frederick Jackson. Frederick!
Hello, everyone. I am so blessed to be here and to talk about tithing. I have a history with tithing that is all about that first chakra. And on Friday, Rev Kevin asked us what was blocking us from our authentic self being fully present. And I've come here to share with you that poverty consciousness has blocked me for years from being my authentic self. I had the experience with the stimulus check this year to tithe it. And part of it was a knowingness that I'm healing that part of me which has long been asked to heal, and to know why I'm on the stewardship corps for thinking of myself, I have no idea about money. I will say publicly that I am grateful for my wonderful wife who has just marvelous means of managing money. And she has been in my life for 20 years, and I've just not caught up to the idea that she's there to help me understand money management. So I'm grateful that I come to the realization of this. So I invite you to tithe your stimulus check as I did. It's painless, and it's also giving back to that unlimited supply where God says to all of us, all that I have is yours. So I am grateful for our community. I am grateful for the financial integrity of our community, which I have witnessed as being a member of the stewardship corps. So with this, I give thanks, and I know as we give, we receive, and I know we continue to grow in prosperity, each and every one of us, as we recognize we are part of the unlimited supply of God. Thank you.
I have more than enough of all that I need to do all I can do, to be all I can be. As I go through this day, this is my creed. I have more than enough of all that I need. I have more than enough of all that I need. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. I have more than enough of all that I need to do all that I can do, be all I can be. As I go through this day, this is my creed. I have more than enough of all that I need. I have more than enough of all that I need. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough. Hey, na, 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 more than enough.
Thank you for joining us on this day of resurrection. And I want to have people come up here just to acknowledge the folks on the praise team. So Otis, come step over here. I'm sorry, Chris, come step over here. There's Chris. Bob, come step over here. Let's acknowledge Bob. Otis, come step over here. Frederick and Joan, come on up here. I want to acknowledge you guys too. Bob, come on up here. Bob Mosai, come on up. So Frederick and Joan. Frederick and his wife, Joan. Thank you for your years of service. And Bob Mosai, who's helping out with the camera. Thank you, Bob. And Bob, who comes and joins us here this morning with Bob. We thank you. Gino, we acknowledge Gino. And acknowledge always Linda and Corey behind the scenes. Thank you, Corey. And the Rev Kev. So thank you for being with us this morning. Join us all month as we really move into this power, this consciousness of rising up into the power of our lives. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. Go ahead and place your hands over your heart. Go ahead and close your eyes and just call forth from within you this rising up energy. Allow it, invite it, call it forth, surrender to it, let it be. So breathe it in and just feel this movement. Fill yourself with energy, with light, with the awareness of the presence of God. And we send this energy, this light, this love out upon our planet on this sacred day, blessing all beings everywhere. And know this with me is true as we say together. And so it is. Thank you for joining us. Happy Easter, and we'll see you next Sunday. Be safe.
I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world.
I sing my joy.
I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world. I sing my joy. I sing my joy. I sing my joy into the world.
I sing my song.
I sing my song. I sing my song. I sing my song into the world. I sing my song. I sing my song. I sing my song into the world. I sing my song. I sing my song. I sing my song into the world. I sing my song. I sing my song. I sing my song into